the muscle car is now.
So a 75 horsepower shot of nitrous at the big end, at redline, at 7,000 RPMs, cools the air so much we make another 250 horsepower.
The hardest part of building this company is assembling the right team, finding the talent that's so specialized in these certain areas that we can excel at the same rate together.
A good point with me and Mark, I think he's probably the most brilliant mechanic I've ever met in my life.
I've worked with basically every kind of race car you can imagine. I've worked with NASCAR cars, ARCA Series cars, Busch Series cars, Craftsman Truck Series trucks. These are a while back. It's called Sprint Cup now or something. This was back when it was the Winston Cup Series. I've worked with GT1, GT2, GT3 cars, GTP cars, a lot of Porsche 911, 993 series stuff.
I would fair to say that I've built 7 or 8, maybe 9 of the top 10 nobles in the world. The ultimate track car, light, nimble, fast. Out of the top 50 in the world, I'd say I've worked on 30 of them.
We have a painter that has won awards at some of the most prestigious car shows in the world.
And I got snatched up by a guy who was doing really, really fine Porsche restorations, where we were winning international concourses and at Amelia Island and at Meadowbrook in Detroit and all of the different Porsche events that they have around the country. We probably won 25 or 30 major international awards with the restorations that we did. So.
And I've worked with Lotuses and Lolas and Ferraris and Jaguars. Of course, all the American muscle.
These guys are the best of the best.
So in 6 weeks, we probably built the fastest road race GTRs in the world, and possibly the lightest one in the world, 3,600 pounds or so.
Fabrication, welding, making body panels, English wheel, planishing hammer, all the fabrication stuff I've done. Everything from chassis building to engine building, transaxle, driveline, everything you can imagine on a race car. Any system on a race car or a passenger car, I've dealt with it. I would say a set of T-tops have probably minimum 40 or 50 man-hours involved.
But boy, that goes in a whole lot nicer. That's like butter compared to what we...
Well, I can do that in 1/4-inch rod.
And the system that I've got, if it comes to fruition, the way that I've got it envisioned, designed in AutoCAD with 3-dimensional laser scanners, I see 5 to 6 man-hours of time total for a complete T-top installation.
So the vacuum that the exhaust cabineters are making through that bottle,
oh, it's creating negative pressure and sucking oil around the turbo.
That helps the pumps make the turbo oil back up to the valve cover. He's not better than me. Don't get me wrong, okay? We didn't go there. But when I die, he will be the best mechanic in the world.
So that was telling you it was getting too much fuel?
That's telling me that it's not as efficient as the rest. It's not creating the BTUs, the heat.
If it was misfire, it's going to be running rich. It's going to be taking fuel away. It's not going to add fuel.
You're true on most of that, but if you have an ignition miss, unburnt fuel and cylinder gases don't count as fuel, so it doesn't count it as rich. It counts it as lean.
Here at Trans Am Depot, we're using the newest, latest chemical technology, waterborne base coat with a high-grade urethane clear coat to provide our customers with the highest possible quality of paint job. Well, this is a top-of-the-line spray booth. It's a semi-downdraft, cross-draft booth that works really well with the waterborne paint that we're using. We have the BASF Color Max system, which is a deck of sprayed-out colors. So just about every color under the sun, I can pull a color out, and I have a computer formula to mix it up by the 1/10 of a gram. I like to do subtle shading and two-tone combinations that follow the lines, the natural lines of the car and the body and the shapes. A lot of people are into doing real garish, flashy, custom paint work, and there's a lot of people doing that. I prefer to follow the lines that are already there and make subtle changes and make the paint jobs elegant as opposed to being really flashy and in your face.
If you pursue your passion, you never work a day in your life. And that's what we do here.
It floors me when I walk in here and the personalities that we have.
They're so passionate about what they're doing that it just has to come out.
We're super lucky to be able to do this, and all the guys that work here are super enthusiastic and passionate and love what they're doing. And
so if a customer asks them, can this be done? They can call me at the phone. anytime, day or night, say, can this be done? And I'll tell them the truth. And if I say, yeah, it can be done, they're gonna let me have a run at it. And you don't get that at a lot of places you work at.
That's what's unique about this and fun a lot of times is you get to try things and to see, hey, is this going to work? And sometimes it doesn't, so it's back to the drawing board and try it again.
It's amazing. And so it's really fun to come into a shop that has a crew who is so positive, who's so excited to come to work every day. You know, this is a dream job. To be able to come in here and work on these cars and just blow people away with the results is very satisfying. And running the blue car up to the dealership, I'm like, Brian pulls up to the light and I see some guy in a work truck and he's trying to inch up to get closer to see him. Like, you're gonna hit the guy in front of you, you know what you're doing.
We're not car dealers, we're not car salesmen, there's a big difference. We are car enthusiasts.
The biggest thing we do is to make each customer their car their own. That way they're getting something a lot of times that nobody else has.
Part of, what drives us is to see a customer extremely happy with our product and to get what they paid for and to be, even blown away by what we've given them beyond what they expected.
My sister was killed by a drunk driver on Mother's Day in 1993. She was 8 years older than me. When she was killed, she was 32. She said, Jim, if you ever decide to do something with cars, she said, let me know, because whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do. She said, you gotta follow your passion. That kind of nailed it for me. I thought about her. And to say that she's been a significant part of my life, both here and far, far away, is an understatement, severe understatement.
We spend more time here, a lot of us, than with our family. And so we are family here.
It used to be a Camaro, I converted it into a Trans Am.
My daughters had me go the long way entering the school grounds so more people could see, as I'm coming through. And of course I get texts, you can pick me up in the Trans Am today. It is mandatory in my family. If you live under my roof, you're going to practice martial arts. Now when you turn 18, if you decide you don't want to, you're on your own.
Years ago, Todd and I would play around because he always did Taekwondo, so I learned quite a bit from him. And then my wife's a kickboxing instructor, so I jumped into that, and that's really helped.
Both my daughters have trained for years and have competed, and now I'm working with my 9-year-old son and teaching him some of the basics.
It's really good to take because then you can teach your kids. As they learn, you can kind of learn together, and I've learned quite a bit just taking them.
And he loves it. He's a natural at bat and baseball, and if he only pursues those two things, he'll develop the character and the discipline, perseverance, the self-control, and those elements that'll help him succeed in life. My goal for these cars that we're creating, I look 20 years down the line, I want them to be collector's items.
See so many different brands of phenomenal engineering, incredibly beautiful, sexy cars that disappeared, that no longer exist. It's really exciting to keep these cars alive.
Obviously, we want the car to be fun handling, but I'd like to see some of these cars on the road course soon. And I think we've got some customers lined up that would entertain that.
I want them to be the Carroll Shelby of the future. That would be the icing on the cake for me.